I hate TikTok. I have wasted so much time on TikTok. But hello everybody, welcome to a video. Today we have some new LEGO Star Wars leaks of a couple different LEGO Star Wars The Mandalorian set. I got a big video dropping tomorrow about what to expect at LEGOCon, and well, this is definitely part of what to expect at LEGOCon. We have the Slave 1 leaked in full. We have a ton of actual physical in-hand images. This is the $50 592 downscaled Slave 1, at least downscaled compared to the version that we got in 2019. And kind of initially reacting to this, the best way to think about this set is if you didn't get the 2019 one, or you didn't like how big the 2019 one is, or how expensive it was, then maybe this set's for you. And if you already have the 2019 one and you're very satisfied with that Slave 1 model, then this set, quite frankly, isn't for you. Now, unfortunately, for a lot of people, this set does have one thing that a lot of people are still going to want, regardless of whether or not they actually like the physical stature and design of the Slave 1, and that is this Boba Fett figure. It is spectacular looking. He's got the black kind of undertones of the torso color and then some darker green on top of him. Now, comparing to the way Boba Fett actually looks like in the show, I feel like he could have gone for a little bit more wear and tear, especially on that torso chest plate. I just feel like it's a bit too of a new green versus what we actually see in the show. Now, of course, that will work a lot better when we end up, hopefully in the future, with a more finalized version of Boba Fett from when he repaired his armor and repainted it and everything. But this figure, while being completely epic and awesome, still has a couple of small flaws that I would love to see patched up and fixed, because it's just some small things that could definitely use a little bit of a buff. Now, all that being said, we've got a great Carbonite sticker piece here. That's definitely become the way for them to do these Carbonite characters that aren't Han Solo, that they have the specific mold for. Goes very well with the set and should definitely fit in a little cargo hold on the Slave 1, although I don't have a specific image of that. Anyway, Boba Fett's head underneath is really well done. He's got a very nice face with all the little scars and markings, and then they even added some of the markings onto the back of his head. Really spectacular looking minifigure in general. Like I said, just a couple little nitpicks. Now, the other figure in the set is the Mandalorian in Beskar armor. We've already had this figure, and it's definitely not the reason to go out and buy the set. There's nothing really for me to say about him that I haven't said before. Anyway, as to the Slave 1, it does look a little bit smaller than I thought it would look in like physical form in actual pictures, and I don't know why, because I've already seen it tons of times. But anyway, it does look rather small, and for 50 bucks you get what you pay for here. You could have bought the $120 one if you wanted a bigger one. You could have bought the UCS one if you wanted an even bigger one, so you kind of are seeing the scaling of what you get for the pricing here. But the Slave 1 does still look pretty decent. I think they've really captured the look of the Slave 1 really well for the size of the thing. We've got the rotatable cannons on the front of the Slave 1. We do have some stud shooters added onto the side for the playability, and it does look like the actual wings on the side will also rotate. I'm not sure if they rotate with the movement of the Slave 1. That's obviously not going to be clear from just still imagery. I'm going to need to have it physically for myself to see if that works properly, but typically on the Slave 1s, the wings do spin with the rest of the models. Now, for the cockpit, it uses a small windshield piece, and then we of course have Boba Fett seated in there, no control panel or anything, pretty small cockpit. I love this image angle of the Slave 1 here. I think it looks great when it's down on the ground like this, so that's awesome. But you don't actually have to display it like this, because the set appears to actually come with a stand, which is very odd. That is so unexpected for this set. I don't think anybody saw this one coming, and it does have a little stand, but it's not like a display stand. I think this would have been better served to have had kind of a black little display stand that can be optional for people that are just collectors or for people that want to play with it, but they are making what is full hog a playset here, so they've gone with something that, in my opinion, is just uglier as far as the display factor goes, but it still is nice to have. It's something that we haven't had with the Slave 1 bar the UCS one before, so getting something to actually prop it upright, other than like propping it up against a wall if you're going to display it in your house, is really good. I like this still. So that's all the leaked imagery of the Slave 1. However, we actually have another leaked picture of the Moff Gideon's Cruiser that I saw floating around. The Cruiser, as we could have guessed without having to have seen this, opens up and there's an interior. However, that interior was always in question as to whether it would be good or bad. In my opinion, this is a pretty good, sizable, spaced out interior. It's not tiny like some sets. It definitely has space to breathe and allow your characters to fit in there. It's hard for me to tell though right now Whether or not you're going to be able to close that top panel with the figure still standing inside, it does look like they could be a little bit too tall for it. But again, at this point, I'm not 100% sure one way or the other. Looks like we've got Grogu sitting on a box. We've got lots of control panels, and then kind of the main desk area where we have the hologram, I believe, in the show. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's going to be a big hologram included or anything like that. That would have been a great detail to have, but we just don't have it. And then, of course, the other figures sitting around the outside with Cara Dune, Fennec Shan, and the Dark Trooper. Not great views of them, of course, with the quality of this imagery, but I do believe, and this was pointed out to me on the live stream or something not too long ago, that Fennec Shan does have an arm print on her right arm, but not on her left arm, so they went and added some nice detail there that we didn't really previously know about. I don't think I've talked about it in the video, so it's worth saying here. And then the biggest highlight to me out of this whole image is that we see what I hypothesized would be in this set, a TIE fighter shooter. So you're going to be able to take the little mini TIE fighters that they're going to include in this one and shoot them out of the front like they're flying off into battle. So that's a really great feature that they've put in there. Now, the last bit I have for this video for you guys is that all of these sets should be revealed at 9 a.m. on Saturday. That is what I have heard. I don't know that is fact, but I try to give you the best information that I know at any given time. So when those sets get revealed, I'll get a video up as quick as I can, so make sure you guys are subscribed with notifications on if you don't want to miss my thoughts on the LEGO Star Wars The Mandalorian set reveal. It should be just these 3 sets, and then the Mandalorian Forge will be revealed later in the day. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below on these 2 sets. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and if you like the video, you know what to do. I'm going back to TikTok.